So Xamarin was a complete failure. It's just too buggy, too slow. Things you get a feel for it that it's not stable. So I'm going to jump onto Xamarin Forms now. Let's give that a go. I've used it commercially, same as Xamarin, for many years. I just simply don't like them. The last time I used Xamarin Forms, we had to drop it 3 months in due to just severe performance bottlenecks. The community have told me that this has kind of been fixed and addressed in many ways, and it does seem like Microsoft's commits are mostly towards Xamarin Forms. So it's worth a shot. If this doesn't work, we're down to an actual JavaScript framework like Flutter or Ionic or something similar. So let's just give Xamarin Forms a go. So let's just open Visual Studio, create a new project, and this time, if we do a mobile app Xamarin Forms, then next, and I might as well put in the location we're expecting to use it, which is Git Blueberry source and blueberry.android app. And let's call it blueberry.android app. And then this time we will just do a master detail so we've got something. I'm not going to bother with UWP, and I'm not going to bother with the backend yet. We'll make our own. So just create a master detail view Xamarin Forms app. And on first open, it's now restoring all packages as we open up. Let's just pin this to the side. You can see we've got an iOS, an Android, and this. There's a thing. I've called it Android app. Doesn't matter for this. This is I believe a .NET Standard, I'm guessing. Yep, .NET Standard class library. So this would be replaced, or we'd merge this into our main core, because we'll get into all the details of how this is put together. But for now, we've got our cross-platform UI here. So in here we have the cross-platform UI, the shared code between Android and iOS. The app.xaml you can think of as like the shared starting point between the applications. And you can see in the app.xaml startup here, it makes a main page. So if we open main page, this would be the starting point to the application. And this has the master detail page, as we mentioned. It's got a navigation page, so it should navigate. And based on iOS, the platform will be tab feed. So let's just start this up and see for one if the emulator works, and two if we could actually deploy without fail. So build cancelled, build cancelled. Okay, let's just double check. I've noticed sometimes Configuration Manager doesn't deploy, which it is. So build clean all. And then build again. Now I did actually see an error there. Let's clean and see what it said. And we've got no details. Pair to Mac, so we built offline, so that's fine. Let's try to build this one separately. So this looks like it's got the same NuGet package restore issue as Xamarin. And then building works. So let me just go and jump over to my other computer and check if this also happens on that like it did on Xamarin. Yeah, so I've just jumped onto my MateBook Pro X laptop and done the exact same steps up to this stage, and we don't actually get this issue on that one, whereas on the Xamarin native, we got the issue on both machines. So let's just close this down, clear off the folder. So let's just go into the app folder. Let's delete the Visual Studio folder. We can delete, we'll leave the solution in a minute, but we'll delete that after. Delete the bin and object in each one. And we'll open it up once more. And let's see if this issue goes away. So that's had a full clean build. And we'll try and build it again. And it might be the very first time you create a new project that first restore messes up. But I didn't get this behavior on my other machine, which is different than the previous Xamarin, which I had it regardless every time. So There's still hope yet. Let's not bin the whole thing just yet. So that seems to be building at the minute. And that's built. So let's now open the view again and see if that shows, and then try and deploy again. So that's showing just a blank screen. Let's now try and run it and deploy it through the emulator. So this time the emulator spun up and it's installing everything. And there we go, it's deployed to the device. Now there's nothing on here. Oh, there we go, now there is. So the UI there doesn't show it. I'm not too fussed, this is just a demo app just to see. So we now have a browse and about page. We also have the default phone setup spamming us now. Thank you very much. Yeah, so we've got this. That slides in, slides out. Go into the items. It all seems to be working. We can try some debugging. So let's just pin this to the side. Let's take a quick look. I've not really taken a look at the default projects in a while. So navigate from menu. Let's hit up that breakpoint. And we get the breakpoint. That was a bit faster. ID is fairly fast with 1. Menu pages. So the debugging definitely seems quicker. Yeah, that's much snappier and usable. So I know this is a really simple and quick test, but this is already better than the normal Xamarin. Can close that. Let's change something. Let's have a look at about view model, about Blueberry, and redeploy that. And let's see speed-wise how quick it redeploys. So I'm not going to fast forward this part. And if that's deployed already, that's really quick. Yeah, so that's redeployed in, seconds with the change. So that's much better than the normal Xamarin as well. Now the opening up seems to take a short while, but again, demo app, we'll figure that bit out. We can always improve that. App name, about Blueberry there, so that's changed. So yeah, this does seem much better. There's not much to say. I mean, let's go to the about page and change something and check the designer works and see how good the designer is. But the deploying, I think I'm happy with. So let's just close the deploy down. I don't think that's an issue, at least at this stage. As we dig in, we can always find things, but that seems perfectly fine to me. So let's just go to this about page and let's do some designer UI work. So there's the UI, that's actually loaded nice. Do we have any kind of clickable elements? No, so that's a slight downside. Not the end of the world, but there's no kind of link between clicking in the UI and it selecting over here. That would have been like a nice to have. Let's do a primary color of red. And that's updated straight away. Accent of black. And that's updated the top. Light color, orange. And that's updated that. So those are working and updating fast. Binding to the tile we can't see because it's the master view page, so it appears as a bar. We could probably do it somehow to see it, but I'm not fussed about that. Xamarin logo we've got. So we have WPF style layout in Xamarin Forms. So it's similar to WPF and similar to UWP, but not quite the same. But it's close enough that getting used to it and migrating over is really easy. They've also got bindings in here, which use the Xamarin specific bindings. And when I last used them, they were fine. They do work. Let's just try changing padding to, say, 50 from one side. And that moves over 50 from the other. Yeah, so this is all looking quite good. This is working. Let's do the famous button to see if it breaks. So they've got a button here. Let's chuck another button below. Let's see if it's happy with just a nothingness button. Yep. And we can do the text to be another button. Yep, that's working. We have some weird artifacts at the edge here. I think it's kind of this default style with some kind of, don't know, we'll look into that. So you have like the you know, you clearly got like an attempt here to a button shadow, but then this one's just all mangled, and that might be just UI in here. Let's just deploy that and have a quick look. It might be either the renderer in here or the style applied somewhere in this, you know, blank app. I haven't really looked into that. We're not really fussed about those details at this stage. We just want to check the stability of the general platform. And so far, this has been a lot quicker, a lot less bug-free. All we've got to do is delete the folder once. I rechecked that on the original Xamarin as well, and it still has the issue, so it's not really fixed that on original Xamarin. And yeah, it's just a visual artifact in this one because it's not on the actual phone. So again, I'm not overly fussed about that. I'll be doing a lot of the work on a real phone anyway. And this might get fixed, or it might be, you know, there's probably a way to solve this. Let me know if you guys see this kind of visual glitch as well. But that's not really a showstopper. So I'm quite happy with this, to be honest. I haven't broken it as such yet, bar the first time, which was fixed and didn't happen on my other laptop either. And the solution seems to be set up fairly organized. It looks like we can move, well, for one, we can definitely link .NET Standard libraries in, which means we can use our core library. I won't be using any of this stuff. We'll remake our own thing, but the point is now the UI, if you will, between Android and iOS is now shared, and we don't have to deal with iOS's terrible, terrible UI layout, which is a huge benefit. Android's isn't much better, but iOS's is absolutely terrible. So this will alleviate that pain, and I think the pain of working through any Xamarin Forms issues is a lot less than working through iOS and Android issues. So that was Forms. I do feel that's a lot more stable than Xamarin. I'm quite comfortable with it, and I think it's worth now giving a go. If you have any comments or concerns, do leave comments. I reply to all of them. And as always, if I've helped you with anything, please do think about donating.